a look at this really magnificent center hall. This is a classic 4-room over 4-room house, and both the main floor and the second floor center halls are quite substantial and offer really a huge opportunity to be a living room, to be a dining room, to be a banquet hall. You can learn how to ride a bike in here.
I would love to have it just as my dance hall.
I know, it's really, it's really stunning. I don't know if you all can really sense the width of this hall, but it's truly magnificent.
But this home in itself, the main house that we're in right now, the Pine House, so it does have 1 bedroom and 1 bath down, and then upstairs you have 4 bedrooms and 2 full baths upstairs.
Yes.
So, and then there's a second home on the property.
Yes, there's a guest house at well called the Little Pine House, and we're going to be taking you on a tour of that as well. It's really quite charming. There are 2 original outbuildings, or called, I'm not saying, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it, but I believe it was called a garçonnier, and I believe that is where people helped you, the people that would help you with the property lived in the garçonniers, and because they both have fireplaces in the back of them. The guest house is an expansion behind the one of the garçonniers. There's also another outbuilding on the property that is basically kind of an efficiency cottage. Needs a little TLC, but it is an opportunity to potentially have a full-time caretaker or a rental property on your property here at the Pine House.
Okay, so let's summarize that. So we have the main house.
Yes.
With 5 bedrooms.
Yes.
And 3 baths.
Yes.
We have Little Pine that has how many bedrooms?
Well, technically 2, but easily could be 3.
Okay, so 3 bedrooms and 2 baths.
Yes.
And then we have the sweet little, how do you pronounce it?
Garçonnier.
Garçonnier. To our left of the main house. And then actually in the back,
then we have the efficiency cottage.
Efficiency cottage.
Yes.
So there's several buildings, potential rental, bed and breakfast.
I know
this is residence.
I know we keep talking about it as a residence, but if you are looking for an opportunity to live and have your home work for you, this property has incredible potential.
And it sits on
8.27 acres.
Yes. And all really great land, nice and level. You have mostly open land. You have some wonderful pecan trees on the property as well.
And you're surrounded by peach groves. Or is it a peach grove? I
think so.
Behind us there are peaches to the right. There are peaches across Highway 25. There are peaches. And for those of you who are not from South Carolina, we do have, I think, the best peaches in the world. I know you Georgians will argue you do, but the Johnston, which is not far from here, is the peach capital of the world.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes, and the peaches we grow in this region are really delicious.
Well, and Trenton annually has a peach festival with all sorts of fun. So they're not going to have it this year, but they will have it in June of 2022. So we'll look forward to that.
I know, that's so fun. And it's so beautiful when they're all in bloom. It's worth the trip to this area just to see the peach trees in bloom.
So shall we show them some of the other parts of the house?
Well, I was thinking we might talk a little history first.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
that is a big part of our the landmark here.
Exactly. So the property actually dates to 1757, and the plat for the first land grant by King George II was in 1756. So I think there was actually a structure built on it maybe in that next year. And it was probably a much bigger property than 8.27 acres. All the peach trees around us were probably part of the original property. The original house was probably actually a log house covered with weatherboard. But they think in 1818, There, it shows the first deed for this property. I won't tell you the dollar amount. But that there was a deed indicates that there was a much more significant home on the property at that time, probably no longer the log cabin. But prior to that 1818 date, obviously we had our Revolutionary War in our country, and which is why we're the United States. And in 1791, George Washington actually had breakfast here, and that anniversary is coming up just next week. May 21st is the date of his anniversary breakfast.
And I do believe there is a landmark on the property, noting that, which is wonderful history.
Yeah, it's priceless.
And lots of amazing names that this home has had. The Piney Woodhouse, the Pine A Woodhouse, the Pine Woodhouse, and today we simplified it, or the family simplified it, the Pine House.
Yes, I think this house has been had many a party.
They used to literally lay out the red carpet and have amazing parties and entertaining.
Yes, there was a woman named Mrs. Bettis that lived here, and unfortunately she was burning all her Christmas wrapping paper and the house burned. But then it was rebuilt in 1868, and the family lived in the smaller houses on the property while the house was being rebuilt. And there are these kind of very interesting and unusual etched glass, which is Venetian ruby red glass that Mrs. Bettis obviously loved and is still here as part of the home. And the home has been in one of two families for about the past 150 years, which is really unusual. And actually, two of the families who have owned this property, they actually are united as husband and wife and family under the roof today. So it's a very livable property too. I think, we talked about bed and breakfast, but this is a family that lives in this beautiful home.
And during their united and coming together, they also found it very important to really explore and put on paper the history of the property and the family. So there is, for all those true history buffs, there's a really great source of all that documentation that we can share with you.
There's a wealth of history on this property. Okay, so it's time to explore.
Yes.
So where should we start?
Let's start in the front parlor.
Okay, so I think we shared with you that this is a 4-room over 4-room house, and so there were probably 2 formal parlors when the house was rebuilt. One of the attributes I just love are these walkout windows. So likely these windows go all the way to the floor. You could not put in windows today. You would not pass code because you could fall out the window or break through the window. But obviously before our comfy heat and air that we all have in our homes, having these walkout windows and having the center hall with the doors on each end was how the home was ventilated. All of these rooms here have really great proportions. We have high ceilings, we have fireplaces. I can share that the fireplaces have not been used by the current family, so I don't believe they're working, but they all have gas access, so you could readily put in gas logs. I know, Becky, it's going to be a little funny. I'm not sure if you can do this, but to take a look at the floors, we have really, I think these are like 5-inch width pine plank floors, and they are stunning. Really a beautiful formal parlor, and again, depending how you use the center hall, this could be a private television space, it could be a home office, or it could live as another bedroom. It just depends what your need and your use for the house is. So why don't we go back across, and Tracy, where do you want to go?
Well, let's just talk about this center hall one more time, or maybe a few more times. But it really is such a grand space. But really, in today's as a residence, you can actually use this as a wonderful living space as well, and set up more of a formal living here, where the front parlor where you just were could be more of an informal den or room office off of the now bedroom downstairs. So you really could use this space as more of a formal living space if you wanted to.
Yes, and I'm sure you expect to see a formal dining room, and we have one. I was going to try to sneak around, so I took off my shoes. The dining room here is quite lovely. Again, a really classic proportion. We have the walkout windows again, and you know, the fact that it is wallpaper. I don't know the vintage of this wallpaper, but I'm sure that it is quite old, and it's a lovely, lovely pattern. But we've got really nice proportions for family gatherings. There is a closet here that actually you can walk through to the kitchen. That was probably, and there's like a charming little door knocker on the inside of this door, and I'm sure it was a way for you to be served at your formal dinner gatherings here in this beautiful dining room. Also, the crown molding is quite lovely, and it's different in this room than it is in the center hall. It's much more ornate, and it probably is worth just a look up with the camera if you can capture it. You know, Becky Wilson is behind the camera, and I have to applaud her because she does an amazing job in showing you so many of the details of these homes.
So speaking of details, to see, another thing to note is this amazing detailed crown molding here in the center hall, which is really just quite phenomenal. You just don't see that anywhere. And then let's just talk about another use for the center hall. You really could, if you were thinking about more of a bed and breakfast, you really could put, 8 to 10 nice round tables and probably seat up to 75, 80 people just here in this space.
It's really just prime as an event venue. The families who have lived here have had many family weddings here, but there's no, you can just imagine and having, a wedding actually inside or outside, and then having your party inside or outside celebrating.
And you've got these great, doors from the front to the back. So you open those doors up, and then you have wonderful ventilation coming from right through the center of the house. So I'm going to show you the back room, which is now used as more of an owner suite down. And you do have your doorway here out to the back porch, and lovely entertainment wall and built-in, so you can hide things away that you want to hide away. Nice space here for a nice big bed, and then you have a full bath there. So the bathrooms and the kitchen have been renovated at some point recently in the home, and those are quite nice, fresh, clean, white tile, tones of white. You do have this wonderful mantle here, which is you could do probably, if you wanted to do a gas insert, you probably could do that. And again, these great floors throughout. What I love about this space too is if you wanted to use the center hall more as a living area, then you really could utilize this as an extension of the owner suite and use that as more of a front office if you're working from home, which some of us are doing.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you the kitchen, and it is our fourth room on the lower main level. And the kitchen actually has been renovated by the current owners. It's really, again, a great scale. I love the ceiling with the beams and then the wood board between. And we've got recessed lighting, we've got a combination of new cabinetry and older cabinetry, updated appliances, a gas range, love the farmhouse sink, and the dishwasher, and then our French door refrigerator here. We have quartz counters here in the kitchen. But I think what I love the most is that you have this space in the middle, that this can be also a family gathering space and breakfast lunchroom. It really is just quite warm and inviting, and I am sure everyone comes downstairs and piles in the kitchen first thing in the morning. There is a really great space here off the kitchen, which is kind of the catch-all room, but it has a washer dryer, it has an extra refrigerator, freezer, we've got pantry space. I mean, you can see like everything can be piled in. There is a door to the outside, but obviously is used for additional storage at the moment. We have a utility closet here to the right of the fireplace, and again, this door to the left is a little pantry that then opens to the dining room. So let's meet Tracy back in the front hall, and
You know, what a nice place. You know, to have an entertaining area too.
yeah, I can imagine a big Christmas tree in that other corner there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll
Okay.
go ahead and head upstairs.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's tour this amazing upstairs. Lots of room to have wonderful family portraits sitting on. Fun memories. You can just see all the Christmas garland going down the railing there. And then another amazing spot upstairs.
I love the second floor center hall.
Beautiful light.
Yes.
Lots of wonderful natural light coming through here.
Yes.
Just phenomenal.
And again, it's been updated, modernized with the recessed lighting that really brings the light in every day. And I know we haven't talked much about nuts and bolts, but the current owners have really invested in the HVAC system for this house, and it's very efficient. It is also efficient in terms of cost as well. And I think that's really a nice asset for an older home.
Yes, so they put in that system in 2016, and they not only put in the new heat and air, but they also redid the ductwork. Yeah, so the efficiency is certainly there.
I know, so we keep talking about the ventilation and opening the doors, but believe me, you do not need to use that as your primary source of ventilation. It's quite cool. So I'm going to take you through two of the bedrooms here. So again, with the 4-room over 4-room, the proportions are similar. We're actually in the room that sits above the dining room. And again, we have high ceilings with the beadboard on the ceiling. And we've got the older windows, but you really can see how the space is great as a bedroom. And we've got a closet, we've got our fireplace that has the gas access, and we still have these beautiful pine floors throughout the home. And then this room has a Jack and Jill bath that's shared with another bedroom that would be above the kitchen. So we've got the clawfoot tub, we have the pedestal sink, we've got some built-in cabinetry, and then we arrive back at this other just charming bedroom, and it's just so fresh and bright and light, plenty of room for play, and beautiful views across the fields on the rear of the property. So we can meet Tracy across the hall to show you the two other bedrooms.
And Sissy, I was just thinking it would be, I love how they have the desk here, and how nice it would be if you had horses and you wanted to put the horses right out back, you'd be able to oversee your horses grazing in the pasture, which is lovely. You do have some storage areas here to our right and then to our left. And then the far door over here actually goes up into your attic space. So here, in the back room, you have a nice lofty ceiling, a lovely owner's suite, and if you would like to show that nice walk-in, you've got a nice walk-in there with a nice area, vanity area, where you can use that for makeup or storing other items. And then there's also a full bath here that goes, let's see, we've got another closet here, so maybe his closet. And then through this door, and Becky, if you want to just walk them through, that is a full bathroom that leads to the front bedroom. We've got a tub shower combination there, built-in storage. And the colors are just very calming with your kind of sky blue colors and your white trim, and a very sweet front bedroom here. And again, all throughout the downstairs and through your upstairs, you have these wonderful wide plank wood floors, which are just quite lovely. Hi, welcome to Little Pine. So this is the original front part of the house that was similar to the little house to the right of the main house that we just shared with you. And then it was added on, and they hence now have the name as Little Pine. Wonderful wood floors throughout. You have these nice original wide wood floors here in the original part of the home with your fireplace. And as you enter here, you can see that the floors do change a little bit. They're smaller, kind of more in the, I would say maybe the 40s or 50s style hardwood floors. And then we've added a kitchen to your right with your nice wood paneling on the chair well area. And then wonderful cabinetry that goes up to the ceiling. So even though it's a nice cozy kitchen, it's very functional. You've got your double wall oven, your sink that overlooks the back yard area, and of course dishwasher and range top and wonderful cabinetry. Behind Becky is your laundry area with lots of great cabinetry, pantry, and then your coat closet. So lots of good space coming in from playing out in the fields or picking those pecans from the pecan trees. Down the hall, we have a full bath to our right. And this has one of those lovely old tubs, those ones that we always want to keep, shower tub combination. We have a hall closet here. And then to your left is a storage. They're using it as a storage right now, but it is a nice size room. Would be great for office, or if you wanted to make it a bedroom, you could do that by adding a wardrobe there. This is your guest bedroom, and if you look at all of that amazing storage to the right, so we've got 2 wardrobe closets plus the storage above, which is really just phenomenal. Lots of great natural light in this home. And then further down the hall, we have our master here we'll go to first. And they obviously thought well carefully about the storage and the closet space. You have 2 nice wardrobes here. And you also have a really nice walk-in here. Lots of built-ins. Good wood floors throughout. A nice light room back here. And we'll take a look at this nice little sitting area off the owner's bedroom to our left. And wonderful natural light on 3 sides of the home. So the front, the back, and the side all have some great natural light. And then we've got a owner's bathroom with your vanity and good storage there, shower, separate tub, and linen closet, and then your WC kind of tucked back to the left. So really great space for if you wanted to renovate and to make this into either a guest house or rental, or maybe if you're using the main house as a bed and breakfast, certainly could utilize this as your main house, and then have the big pine house be your bed and breakfast here. And I love this cozy den. It's very sweet. You have wonderful hardwood floors, your brick hearth on your wood-burning fireplace here, your bay window overlooking the front garden area. You have your door on either side to let you out into the little courtyard area here or out to the side of the house. And then to your right, beyond the fireplace, there's a little bar area there, which is nice. So we've just walked back through the house and out the laundry area to the backyard, and you've got all these nice little brick walkways throughout, leading to Little Pine and to the Pine House. And it opens up to this gracious back field with these lovely old trees that probably have a lot of history if they could talk. But certainly could utilize this back space for pasture for horses, or if you wanted to put in a nice riding arena there, you could certainly do that. But really lots of great place that kind of get out and have a little elbow room to run around. So just sharing with kind of a wrap-up of what we've offered here at the Pine House. So you have the main house that has your owner's bedroom down and full bath, and then 4 bedrooms and 2 baths up. Then you have Little Pine that has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths, and on 8.2 acres. You are very close, equal distant right to Augusta, probably 15-20 minutes to downtown Aiken, very close to even get to Columbia. So really good kind of center location right here in Trenton, Edgefield area. Okay, we're at the back of the property, which the property borders these peach fields to our back and to our right. And then in this back corner, you have this sweet little rental with some wonderful investment opportunity here to turn into a caretaker's cottage or a rental for income producing property. And then you can see an expansive field which reaches all the way to the Little Pine House on the right, and then sitting in the center is the Pine House, and then to the left is that sweet little Garcinet home, original to the Pine House. So really good view from this back corner of the expansive field, which is really a nice blank slate for you to use as you see fit. Thank you for joining us today for this tour of the Pine House and Little Pine. Sissy has actually stepped away to greet some guests to tour them through the property. But if you would like a private tour, please don't hesitate to give our team a call at 803-998-0198, and we will gladly set that up for you. Have a great day.